Hi everybody, it's Craftin' Just Because with Chris Cowan. I'm here today on my lunch hour. I'm just getting set up so I can see comments. And then we'll get started. There we go. Okay, so we're going to be playing, I'm using the Sweetest Candy Cane designer series paper. I paired it with the Pool Party and then Real Red cardstock. But then I'm going to use a sentiment from the Spruced Up stamp set. So I just wanted to let you guys know that. And we are on day 3 of the 12 days of Christmas. So today we are going to make a mug box, and I did not get the mug done in time. I'm doing the sublimation of the mug to show you what we're going to put in there, but I paired it, and the reason I did it with these colors is I made a little mug rug on my embroidery machine, and I'm going to pair this with the mug that's going to coordinate with it. So it'll have some sort of reindeer on the mug that I'm doing. Okay, so we're going to want to bring in our paper trimmer. Now, if this is your first time following me, don't worry, because when I post this video, it'll link you to my blog, which will have all the directions for all of the 12 Days of Christmas projects. So what we're first going to do is first you need 2 pieces of cardstock that are 8.5 by 7.5. And then you're going to need a piece that is 8 5/8 by 7 5/8. So I technically had to use 3 sheets of cardstock to make this, but it is a pretty substantial box. So let's just make sure. Okay, so on this 8.5-inch side, we are going to score each piece at a 1/2 inch. So I like to do that on my left-hand side here. So I'm going to score it at a 1/2 inch, and then I'm going to turn it and score it at 4 inches. Okay. And then on the 7.5-inch side, we're going to score it at 4 inches. Okay. So now we're going to do the same thing to the other cardstock. I want to make sure I'm on the right side. Okay. So on the 8.5-inch side, we are going to score it at a 1/2 inch. And then I rotate that around and score it 4 inches. And then on the 7.5-inch side, we are going to score at 4 inches. Okay. We're going to set that aside. Now we're coming to that piece that is 8 5/8 by 7 5/8. And on all 4 sides, we want to score it at 1 inch and 2 inch. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to score that at 1 inch and 2 inches. And then rotate it 1 inch and 2 inches. And then 1 inch and 2 inches. And then I have one more side to do. 1 inch and 2 inches. Okay. Now we can get rid of our paper trimmer. And then we're going to bring in our bone folder. And we're going to fold and burnish all those score lines. Okay. Okay, so first we're gonna do our lid. And how we're gonna do it is we're gonna cut these 3 corners off. And we're gonna do this on each of the sides, except for, before we do that, I'm gonna cut up and make this a tab, and then I'm gonna wedge some of it out. Because I wanna show you, so it's gonna go in like this and fold to make a lid, okay? So we're gonna do the same thing on this side. We're gonna take these 2 squares off, then this one, and then we're going to cut up and then wedge on this square. Okay, same thing on this side. We're going to take the 3 corners off. Looks like I bent my paper snips, which is quite a bummer because these are newer paper snips. Must have been pulling at something or something. Okay. And then the last one, we're going to take the 3 corners off there. Okay, and then we're just going to set that aside for a moment. I'm going to get rid of all these scraps, and then we need to worry about our box piece here. So just remember, okay, so how we're going to do this is you're going to have your 1/2 inch side over here, and what you're going to do is you're going to cut up the score line to the intersecting score line. Okay, so then it's like this. And then on this little tab, we're going to cut it in half and we're going to tab each of the sides. So I tabbed that one. So let me show you how this is going. So it's going to go like this. So then our other piece is going to adhere to here. Okay, so let me show you how. We're going to go cut up the intersecting score line to that mark. Then we're going to flip it to the 1/2 inch side, and we're going to wedge this out and make this our tab, like that. So let me lay it flat so you guys can see how I cut that. Okay, so how it's going to work, I'm going to show you guys here. So you're going to have your box like this. And we're going to adhere it together like this. Okay, so that bottom's going to be pretty sturdy because it's going to have multiple layers on there. Okay. Okay. So before we do that, I kind of want to add my designer series paper. So let me tell you the measurements that I have here. I have 2 pieces that are cut at 4 1/4 by 3 3/4. I have 2 pieces that are cut at 3 1/4 by 3 3/4. I have 1 piece that's cut at 4 3/4 by 3 3/8. Then I have 2 pieces that are cut at 3/4 by 4 3/8. And then 2 pieces that are cut at 3/4 by 3 3/8. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to adhere this onto my top front. And I think I'm going to do the green side for my top. That way the candy canes really pop. There we go. Okay. And then I'm going to add my strips here. It doesn't look straight. Like that. Okay, and then I'm going to glue one, well, I'm just looking here. Okay, so hold on. I think I'm going to do this on the sides. So one piece is going to be green, the other piece is going to be the stripe. I think it just gives it some character. Okay, and then our second piece is going to be the same way. I wanted to make sure my stripes are going the right way. And then the green on the other side. Okay, now I'm going to bring in some tear and tape just because we are making a box here. And I'm going to add tear and tape to my tabs. Okay, and then what I'm going to do, I want to show you guys. For the first one, I'm going to put the smaller piece down here so that the inside of the box is nice and clean, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just run some tear and tape down just like that. So let's do that. Or hold on, let's put these together first. No. I'm trying to decide how to, the best way to do this is for you guys. But I'm going to just go the way I said. So I'm going to do this one first. Okay. I'm going to rub that down. Now I want the nice box to be on the top. So on this one needs to go on the bottom. So I'm going to put my tear and tape on the inside of this one. Just like that. And then I'm going to add more tear and tape here on the inside, just so we make sure that that is nice and adhered down. because mugs can be kind of, you know, heavy. I should be using my take a pick tool, which is my favorite tool, but for some reason I'm just using my scissors. And then I'm going to take my tab pieces off as well. Okay. So carefully, I want to make sure I've got my tabs right. You know what? Okay. I'm going to match up my seams right there. Did I do this wrong? No. And then I'm gonna line up that bottom just like that. And then we need to take the release paper off here. Ah, I don't want to rip my box. Did I take the release? Yeah, okay, it's stuck. I just wanted to make sure I took that last piece of release tape off. Okay, come on. Here's my take a pick tool. There we go. See, that makes all the difference in the world. Okay, so now I'm going to just make sure I'm lining the bottom of the box up on the side. So there's our box, and that bottom is way sturdy. Okay, and then I think I'm going to just run my bone folder right in there to make sure I did a good job. And I'm going to add a little bit of glue on this corner here because it's kind of lifting. Like I didn't get glue all the way to the edge. Okay, so now we're going to set that aside for just a moment. And now we got to do our lid. And on our lid, I'm not using tear and tape just because this is easier for me to do with liquid glue. So you put glue on the tab and then fold that in. And you're going to do that all the way around, and then you glue down those sides to reinforce that top. I'm going to hold it for just a moment. Add glue there, tuck that in. And then add glue to this final tab and tuck that in. Okay, then you're going to add glue to all these little flaps. And what it does is it just reinforces that lid. So I like to use my bone folder because then it gets it in there and it gets in those corners. Last one. And then this is the moment of no return. We hope that the lid fits the box, right? Sometimes I've messed up on those measurements. but it's a perfect fit. Okay, so now I have some candy canes that I did out of the paper there. And then I have a circle here. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp using Memento ink. I'm going to stamp May It Be Yours this holiday season. I'm going to stamp it kind of closer to the bottom. Okay, just like that. Oh, I like that. That's nice and crisp and clean. And then I don't even know if I'm going to use this. That was just a piece I had laying around. And what I think I'm going to do is kind of put it at an angle like that. And then we'll tie some ribbon around it and put it up on dimension, or the sentiment and the candy canes on some dimensionals. Okay, so I'm gonna do my little side there. Then I'm gonna put these together with just a dimensional here in the middle. Got my nail stuck to it. Okay, and then I'm going to use some of this red and tie a bow around my candy canes. Just like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and adhere that to my box. Just like that. So that's our little coffee mug box. Totally easy to make. It did take, it did take 3 sheets of 8.5 by 11, but it's the perfect size. Uh-oh, look. I put my stripes going the wrong way on the top. Oh, well. It's very cute. And it's nice and sturdy, like I said, because it's got 4 layers of cardstock there at the bottom. So that'll be perfect for my little mug rug. To go with my mug rug and my mug. So thanks for joining me today, you guys. And until next time, I will see you later. Tomorrow will be another day of the 12 days of Christmas. Bye-bye.